Hey everybody, welcome back to Dogwood Springs Outdoors. Today we're doing kind of a continuation video from earlier when doing some maintenance on a Kubota zero turn. It's a Z421 and it's been a great mower. I've had it for three and a half years now, I guess, but I have one kind of main issue that's happened before, and that's what I'm addressing today. It's above, it has two transaxles, right and left, and above those under here on top of the pulleys are the plastic fans, cooling fans. And one of them you can access without removing the fuel tank, but the other one you can't. It's still difficult to get to the one. But anyway, what happens is if your belt slips or breaks and comes off the top of that pulley, that's just a little, plastic fan. And unless it's completely broken, but if it's still frayed or just loosened up and comes off, it's going to tear that fan up. And so that's what happened. This is the second time it's happened, and this time it was the pulley under the gas tank. So that's to replace it. I've gotten a new one, and we'll go into that too. I got that off of eBay, just with the part number. I've done it before, and it's a great replacement, easy to do. And get that changed out. One of the things I've been waiting on is you don't need a full fuel tank when you're doing this. So I've kind of run it out or down low before we started this process. But anyway, that's it. We'll get in here, kind of show you what we're working on and what all you have to take off and do it and go from there. And hopefully it'll be some help to you. Open this up. Yeah, get down. So this is one of the fan blades right here, and the other one is right on the other side on that fuel tank. Now before, like I say, I was able to replace this one without taking the fuel tank off. I did have to take that little hydraulic arm off there, but anyway, we'll get into it. I actually left my fan at the house, so I'm gonna run back and get it, and then we'll get started here. So this is the fan blade I had ordered, and Hydro Gear is the original maker, so it's an OEM part there. But in case y'all need any of that information, it's just a 7-inch blade. That's the metal nut I was talking about, only piece of metal in there just to thread it on. So the first thing we'll do is take the seat off and set it out of the way. And once it's up, you can essentially just lift it straight up out of there. But there's this one little connection there for the sensor underneath the seat there. You can't really focus on it. We just got to take that out. It's heavy. In mine, I have the suspension system on it added, which was an extra. So that makes it even heavier. And I don't know that I can get my hand's too big to fit in between there to unhook that. So, may just have to set it on the side. This is on here holding that in. I just took that bolt out. That's a 1/2-inch bolt just to get that out of the way. We have to take that off, and now I have to take these two off. They're actually 1/2-inch as well. Should just lift that. Turn out. Now I'm going to need to take all this off over here on the side with the ignition and the if I had not gotten the suspension seat, you can access it, but that right in there was where your access point is to get to that connection to disconnect the seat, and it would be a whole lot of work for me to do that. So I'm gonna just try my best to do it without it, without unhooking it, and just kind of tweaking that as need be. But we'll see if I can do it or not. We got a bolt, that bolt right there, and then there's another one down on the other side we got to take out, and then we need to remove the little height, the shaft or the height adjustment control there, and disconnect some wires under here to get this off. We'll start that. That was 10 millimeter on both of those. Let's see. Get down here, see if we can show you. So this is the shaft. We got to get down here. You can see that kind of spiral staircase looking thing right there. That's for actually when you spin it, you know, raising the different settings for the height. We got to get the nut off under there and then disconnect these wires. I don't know if you can see up higher, several wires and ignition up there to get that off. So, okay, I lowered the deck just to get access to take this off. Again, that's the shaft. Just wanted to show y'all. And then right underneath there, that's that nut that you need to remove. I think that's a 9/16. They'll get that one. All right, I broke that loose. And I'm just, which was not too hard. Now I'm just trying to get, it's got a washer on it. All right. Also up here, you know, take note, those wires, you really get those mixed up, like one of them, which side is which? Looks like up here this one is blue and white and the brown on this side. So blue and white on my right for when you put them back in. Okay, I'm haven't done this before, so I am learning. There's another bolt you can see kind of up there in the upper right side of the screen. I've loosened it, as well as the one right here. So you got two underneath there. As far as I know, that's all. I think we've got everything loose that needs to be now. Had the cable for the ignition, the cable for the to engage the blades, and if you need to, you can take the gas cap off and just to slide that off, and then loosen that, get it out. Anyway, and then put it back on. Particularly if it's got gas in it, you can take it out. So now we got about down to it. Just got to disconnect the fuel lines. All right, we got the hoses undone, and I had to stop to kind of put a little more elbow grease in that. They were very tight. And I'll also say be careful when you're doing that, since they are so tight that, you know, they're just connected to that little plastic right there, and you don't want to break anything off of that. So you might hold that with one hand and the hose with the other, you know, just to make sure you don't break it. But then, so then you just got bolt down there and a bolt up there in the front to take out, and then should be it. As far as I know, that's it, before you can remove the tank. Looks like all these, the bolts are generally the same size, so it shouldn't be too much of a concern like getting anything mixed up. These are not the same size. I think that back one was the 10 millimeter, and the front one looks like it's going to be the 1/2 inch again. I think I wasn't filming a while ago, missed accidentally pushing the button, but just took out the tank it was lighter than I expected, but definitely it'd be lots easier if it's not full of gas. Again, that's the existing fan that I replaced last time, and then this is where the other one goes right here. And now you can see why. And because it fastens from the top, there is no space to get any kind of wrench or anything in there, or even, you know, on the sides, there's no access point. So you have to take the fuel tank off to get to it, which is a mess. All right, I wanted to show y'all one thing before we wrap this up that I ran into. I'm gonna tell you, so you'll know about it in advance, so it doesn't hold you up. When I took the bolt off of here, I had not taken any pressure off that belt, and so there was so much pressure. This pulley is just sitting, you know, it's got that the grooves, and it's sitting on that little star pattern thing that holds it in place. And anyway, the tension was so much it popped up off of that, and you couldn't really pull it back and hold it and then put everything back together all at once. I could get it back on there, but it wasn't going to stay while I tried to put the rest of it on. So what I had to do was get my spring puller, which has been a lifesaver. Just that right there is cheap. You can make your own or whatever. And I use it a lot these days. I never used to use one, but and took that tension spring off, and we've had to replace those before too. That's the third one I've had on there. But took the tension off of it to get it back, and so now we're just going to put everything back like it was. That's it, and then we'll be set. And I'm gonna spare y'all the putting it all back together again, because it's just the reverse of taking it off. So you can watch that if you miss something. So I'm a lot dirtier and sweatier than I was a little while ago when I started, but hopefully that'll help you if you have to do the same thing. Again, one thing I would add too is while you got it all apart, take advantage of the opportunity to clean it up real good inside there. But whether you're using air or water or both, just make sure you cover those fuel lines with something so you don't get any debris in there. But that, honestly, it went better than I expected. So I've not done that before, and wanted to see if I could help somebody else while I was doing it. But as always, y'all, thanks for watching, and come back and see us.